Hey everybody, Destin Laguerre here with CJ Gibson.
What's up?
And today we are reacting to the Bungie update all about Destiny 2. They're addressing a ton of the quality of life changes, and they're changing the game starting December 5th with stuff like re-rollable weapons called Masterworks, ornamentation on gear, exotic engrams at Xur, and 3 coins are coming back. Faction armor and weapons are going to be purchasable vendor gear. What else do we have here? Mods are changing. You can dismantle blues for a chance at legendary mods, and you will also get gunsmith parts and a bunch of smaller updates. And basically, CJ, what I want to ask you is, do you think this is enough to save Destiny 2?
Save, whoa, big word there. I will say this, I'm excited there's a date, and I'm excited it's December 5th with the launch. Now, we didn't know that going in.
For some of this stuff.
For some of it, yes. And I think
some of it's coming in 2018 to clarify.
But that was really the issue with the last couple streams, is people were a little bit upset. You know, you have all this new content, but again, you power through it, what happens then? So the fact that this has got a date, and some of it is dated December 5th, very smart move.
December 5th and December 12th are the first 2 dates, and then the rest should come in 2018. So the first question I had, a lot of this stuff sounds fantastic. My question is, most of this stuff was in Destiny 1.
Yes.
Why wasn't it here in 2? And if they truly believed in the design philosophy of Destiny 2, why did they take all this stuff out only to re-implement it September, October, November, 3 months later?
That is a great question. I think really that's the question now that everybody's going to start asking is, was Destiny 2 rushed out the door? And I mean, again, the game is a very good game. It's got really solid PvP. It's got a solid PvE. There were some technical bugs along the way. Some of that stuff I think was maybe, you know, implementing the PC one and working on that simultaneously. But again, it does feel odd that these were things that were, again, fundamental parts of Destiny. Why were they not there on launch?
Totally agree. Let's talk about one of the aspects that you're most excited about, ranked Crucible.
Yes.
Now that is going to be a dramatic change for Destiny. We haven't had true ranked gameplay before. What do you think this is going to look like?
Yeah, I mean, so the next question is, what does that actually look like? We've seen a bunch of different iterations over the years between Halo 2 and 3, or what people mostly think of when they think of a ranked matchmaking system developed by Bungie. But again, they did something a little bit different in Reach where they had seasons. So how it plays out, whether it's going to be competitive enough for that competitive community, I think remains to be seen. But at the end of the day, it is something now that you have a number attached to your name, and you can now go in and play against people of your similar skill, which I think even for the casuals, the skill ceiling or the gap on the floor was different with Destiny 2. It's a very hard game to play.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of casuals that are playing PvP and going, oh, this is for me. It's still difficult. So I think this allows even the casuals now to get ranked up against other people and their skill set. And I think it's a win-win for everybody, actually.
Definitely. I think Crucible's definitely needed something like this, and it's going to be exciting for those hardcore players to have something to stream for the streamers or just to chase if you're a player. One of the things I was most excited about was the Xur engram that you can purchase. It is an exotic that you can purchase, and it'll give you a piece of gear that is not already in your inventory.
They heard you. They heard you. It was the duplicate line.
They are addressing the duplicate problem also, just in general. 3 coins is coming back. It boosts drop rate for 4 hours. No more weird stacking mechanism. You just have it for 4 hours. And they'll cost legendaries. You can buy as many as you want. I have about 2,000 legendary shards.
Yeah.
So
I was pretty lucky. I actually landed most of my Iron Banner gear, as I heard you did not. So,
no, I didn't. I turned in 17 engrams. Somebody turned in 120 and didn't get a full set.
Yeah.
It's broken. The investment system is broken. A lot of the changes that they're making with purchasable gear seems like it will address that issue.
Yes.
And now you have to complete activities like turn in 2 engrams, and then like you don't get what you want. Okay, you can just buy it.
And the problem with the token system is not only the fact that it felt boring, you couldn't have any path to obtain the gear that you wanted. So this alleviates some of that problem.
It definitely does. I'm taking a wait and see approach with this. There's a lot of stuff that I'm just like, okay, most of this was in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
They talked about better incentives for prestige activities coming in January. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that? So I don't even know what they're talking about there. Better Crucible incentives for completion, 2018. The Heroic Strike playlist with better rewards. We actually got to play that recently in the preview, and it just felt like a strike.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they adjust that reward system. Adjusted Supremacy scoring and spawning rules. That one's coming in December, thankfully. Iron Banner and Faction Rally improvements in December. Mod updates in December. More in 2018. and the emote wheel will come in 2018.
The emote wheel.
That's the most important part.
That's the thing we're all waiting for.
Yeah.
I will say this. I was interested, and I'm waiting to gauge community reaction feedback on the whole reversal, really, of what's essentially now random rolls. I kind of had a problem with that going in, thinking everything was going to be static. From a chase standpoint, I got it from a balance standpoint. So I understand why there was an incentive there, but we didn't get a kiosk.
Yep.
So from that standpoint, I think there's a lot of people like you who are going, if there's no kiosk, it's fine static, but are you excited now there's random rolls again?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I do know that you can dismantle a master class weapon? Masterworks weapon, and then you can actually make one a different weapon, a Masterworks weapon. It'll be interesting to see how the mechanic works. Overall, final impressions, CJ, I need to wait and see until I get to play it for myself to see if this is going to address the problem. They did say there's going to be a limited amount of perks that the Masterworks weapons will be able to utilize, so I don't even know if that's going to matter in the long run.
And I think that's it. When you think of even now the economy with 2 primary slots essentially and 1 power weapon, I think that's another issue that still hasn't been resolved, especially for the PvP community. You still really don't get a chance to use snipers, you don't get a chance to use shotguns that often, and you don't get a chance to use fusion rifles. So that is a fundamental part of Destiny that's been removed, and I think that will still need to be addressed.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, CJ. Guys, if you want to see all the updates, you can go to IGN.com right now and see all the changes that are coming to Destiny 2 in December and beyond. And for more on all things Destiny, watch Fireteam Chat every Friday at 5 and keep it right here on IGN.